Yo, what up? What up? Good morning. Good morning, GMG. Yeah. Tuesday. December 16th, 2025. Look at that. Another beautiful day to have a beautiful day. I got my co-host in the house, Tyler. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing today?
I'm good. Just watching this face-melting rally off of last night's lows. Just absolutely ripping. And running. Be a double bottom. The most important double bottom of our lives.
This is the most important double bottom ever. It's everybody needs to pay attention. Quant said 89K, Quant being Bernie. I mean, but at this stage, when Mando can't make the first few minutes of the show, whatever, we should bring Bernie on. I think we could turn Bernie into the next big thing, right?
We need to see these dots. What do the dots look like over the last couple days? There's been volatility, assuming he just printed.
Yeah, I'm assuming he printed. I mean, his dots are everything. I mean, we could even call it the Bernie pattern or something, the Bernie trade, whatever it is. Like he has the right name, Bernie. Very similar to Bernie Madoff. Pretty famous name here in financial markets. So I feel like he could cook. I don't think he made it today, but anyways, today's show, markets as usual, news. And I'm actually so tapped out of news cycle the last few days. Jesus. Right? Nothing wrong, right? I don't feel like yesterday was anything other than that. I'm trying to share. How do you pin something to spaces now? I forget. They keep changing the way everything looks on this app for some reason. I guess you can't do it anymore. Oh, I can. There you go. It's at the end. All right. Spaces. Oh, sorry. Markets, news, blah, 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 blah. We're going to do a YEET giveaway, double giveaway, because I fixed my problem from yesterday. So yesterday's winner and then today's winner. So we're going to do double whammy, some Omaha, some lamb chop. Then we'll be joined by Football.Fun. I know they've still been talking about it. So they're going to be joining us to chat about that straight up. I have some questions. I know Tyler's got some questions too, but let's talk about those metrics, talk about their ICO and stuff like that. And then last but not least, this show is powered by EigenCloud. EigenCloud, built on EigenLayer security, extends crypto-grade verifiability to prediction market to any applications, from AI agents to prediction markets to on-chain games. Build anything, verify everything, but also Wallet Connect. Wallet Connect powers billions in monthly volume across wallets, apps, users, and institutions. That blue logo, it's everywhere. An icon of trust in crypto is recognizable as Visa at checkout. Want to learn more? Follow Wallet Connect on X and Telegram to stay ahead of what's next. And then one more. Hey, the sponsors keep the show running, One last one, but that's just for the week. There's a special deal that Mexi's offering our listeners, if you sign up to Mexi using the code FOMO Hour, I think it's on screen now. Yes, it is. $50 for the first 40 users. All you have to do is deposit $100 and trade $2,000. $2,000 notional volume, by the way. So it's not actual $2,000. So it's $100. You know what to do, and you can get your $50. So let's see somebody write it up. $50 to 50 million. How's that?
Yeah. GMX.
So it's QR code somewhere on the screen. You can see it. You can connect. And with that being said, Tyler, let's get right into
for daily NFT and crypto analysis. Tyler D on FOMO Hour calls the kid can't miss.
Ready to bash some bears. Yeah, folks, the crypto board is red, but getting a little bit better. We've got Bitcoin now 87.3. It's only down 0.7% from where it was yesterday. It feels like it's worse. Etho is down 3.5%, 29.40. Solana down 1.5% at 128. In headlines here, JP Morgan launched tokenized money market fund on Ethereum. We talked about that yesterday. The Senate has punted that crypto market structure bill to next year. So that's not going to be approved. I don't think a huge surprise at this point. There's not that much time left in 2025. But you're going to have to wait a little bit longer for that crypto market structure bill. Coinbase and Robinhood have joined the new U.S. tech force. which is aimed at recruiting top engineers to build AI infrastructure for the U.S. government. MetaMask has expanded beyond Ethereum. It now has Bitcoin live in wallet. You can buy, send, and receive Bitcoin inside MetaMask now. Big unlock. PayPal applied for a bank charter in Utah as it continues to try to get deeper into the traditional banking system. Trump said he's going to look at pardoning Samurai Wallet developer Keon Rodriguez. Grayscale argued quantum computing unlikely to move crypto valuations in 2026, though warning chains need their plans. And then BitTensor Tau, they completed their first halving event on Sunday. Issuance dropped from 7,200 tokens per day to 3,600. Though the price is also halved since late October. In corporate treasuries ETF strategy, they had $1 billion in Bitcoin. Bitmine bought 102,000 ETH last week. Bitwise filed an amendment for their hyperliquid ETF. In token airdrop protocol news, Circle announced the acquisition of the Interop Labs team. This was a big one, but their product, the XLR network and the Axel token, are not going to be acquired. So those are going to be turned over to the community. Just the latest app token that was not included in acqui-hire. YEET kicked off Big Moments 3, Christmas Joyride, new format, big prizes. Maybe we'll talk about that. Sports.Fun, they shared new details for their ICO. We're going to talk to the team here later in the show. Ondo announced tokenized stocks and ETFs coming to Solana. And Kalshi introduced prediction combos as their version of parlays. Wrapping this up, memes were read today. Not a huge surprise. Pippin is arguably the story. It's up to $500 million market cap. It flipped for Fartcoin. Though Bubble Maps is reporting it's 80% bundled.
Yeah, but that's bullish.
There's a discussion to be had about that. And the NFTs, OpenSea swept $1 million in NFTs, it looks like. Rewards for their latest farming season. It's not going to end anytime soon. Wave 3 rewards unlocked tomorrow, but then Wave 4 is going to begin. And Corkies are doing an NFT strategy token. Street, I believe it's going to be called. And that is launching today. And that's the roundup.
Okay, so what the fuck is Pippin? Can we start with that? Because there's a coin right now going to $500 million. I think we mentioned it like 200 on the show just as news. Not like we're buying anything, just quickly, like you briefly kind of mentioned. So it's not like we called it or anything, but what, how, where, who? I've not seen a single mention of it. That doesn't mean it's good or bad, by the way. I'm just saying. What?
Man, I'm trying to remember. So this one, was it selling off live? Oh no.
Maybe it is. It's still 14,400. Like, so what is it? Who is it? Even if it was 150, I would ask this question. Like, what's going on here?
This was one of the AI tokens from late 2024 era.
Oh, is this like one of those cabals that runs the tokens up to then dump? Because I've seen a lot of that, like Jelly, and I'm like, there's been a lot of that shit here.
Yeah, that's the simplest explanation of what's happening here. Like, there's no fundamental. But like this was a token like I tracked and reported on back in.
I remember that.
And then it had its run up, and then like this was a darling. I mean, how high did it get in that first run? Like in late
200 and something.
Pretty big. I mean, only a handful got higher than that, right? So like this was a force. It was on the short list. Of course, it sold off, like almost all of the AI tokens did. But yeah, it looks like a team has scooped up 80% of the supply, and it's been driving this price action up. So not encouraging folks to buy this by any means, but just kind of reporting on why this is happening.
So a team got 80% supply and ran it from $10 million to $500 million. Question for you, Tyler. Why aren't we doing this?
And like, why is it happening to my coins? Like, I'm still holding these
decentralized markets, you know? Are they, maybe someone knows better than me. Maybe there's a thread on something, and the chat usually is good to comment and find us the stuff we're asking for here. Is it something they do with like the ones that are listed on the perps on certain exchanges, and they do the shorts? Like, is that what they're doing here? Like,
yeah, there has to be certain characteristics of like, why did they choose Pippin versus
like Jelly was because it had perps on Nance, Hyperliquid, everything. Like it was specifically targeted to attack Binance, right? To attack Hyperliquid. So, I don't know.
It's interesting. I think there's a longer discussion to be had. I feel like Bubble Maps, and I like the Bubble Maps team a lot. they've been doing more threads, like exposing like how bundled new tokens are, but also exposing how bundled previous launches were. So like they've been doing this like time lock analysis.
Yeah, the Pepe and stuff like that. But that's not bad. Like, what's your take on that?
Right.
I think it's good that they're bringing it forward. Then it's up to you to decide if you want to make it positive or negative. But like, you know what I mean?
It's like bundled doesn't necessarily equal bad. And like the Brett token was like obviously like was very bundled as well. But for whatever reason, that one had more negative sentiment the whole time it was pumping versus some others. But it seems like bundled tokens have higher likelihood chance of going high. I guess they also perhaps have higher likelihood of just being being rugged, perhaps.
95.7% of supply in 250 wallets. I love that.
Maybe it'll be a short here at some point, but you got to be careful. Anyone who's
careful
is underwater.
I mean, this is pure manipulation. Everybody needs to be aware here. This is pure manipulation. It's not that it's not getting bought by NVIDIA. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like being acquired by Coinbase. It's pure as you've seen on the screen. I was sharing my screen trying to read some takes. Everybody has the same take. So you have people doing TA on Pippin. Dude, this. I love this comment. Look at that. Now this is the sort of crime I can get behind, and why am I sidelined? I love this tweet. I feel the same.
I mean, it's like high stakes rocket game, right? So like if you identify a bundled token like this, like there is a trade for like this. I'm talking very stuff right now. So this everyone. That's the
you could probably on MEXC short it. MEXC tends to list a lot of stuff.
I mean, if you saw this happening, you bought in at 200, like you're up 2x.
Well, you kept talking about it in the chat, the FOMO chat, right? You kept saying, yo, Pippin's at 200, Pippin's at 150, Pippin's at 200. And you and I and everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about, you?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about, Pippin? Right?
It's definitely, but
then at 200, you're like, it's already crime. How far is crime going to? Yeah, there's some fuck shit going on here. Be careful buying this because they're doing this to catch attention. You're running it up. You're like, they're going to do it to 1 billion. Okay. And then you're going to get dumped on like crazy.
Well, speaking of dumped on, maybe this is a good seg to this Circle Interop Labs XLR.
Let's talk about
that. So yesterday, Circle announced, Interop Labs announced they're in agreement. Interop Labs team and their IP is going to join Circle and accelerate the next phase of cross-chain infrastructure. That's from the announcement, but this does not include the XLR Foundation or the Axel token, which are going to both remain independent, open source, and community governed. So effectively, the team driving the protocol and the token is gone. It's turned the protocol and the token are now in the community's hands. So this is like, I think our third recent example of this, maybe there's even more, of where an app effectively gets acquired, but the token does not. And now the token is starting to sell off, unsurprisingly. It's like it kind of had pumped a bit into this. It looks like it ran about 50% into the news, perhaps just kind of a rebound rally because it had been sold off so bad. And now it's back effectively at all-time lows, but it's still at $170 million. Sorry, that's TVL. It's 135 million FDV, 120 million market cap. But the question is like, why? I mean, should it be worth much more than zero at this point, right? And it's just it's another just blow for the whole app token market. It makes it hard. But I think some solutions are coming. So it actually sounds like we're going to talk to the Rainbow Wallet team.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
It looks like Mike said like they've got an answer to this. Like they've got a new equity, digital, like tokenized equity version of their token. They're doing it in a slightly different way so that if they were ever acquired, like the token effectively would come along with them. And you can maybe argue that means perhaps they're a tougher acquire. That's perhaps a different discussion, but it's just something to be aware of. right? And it is just a shame. Like you bet on these teams, these tokens, and like you think an acquisition by Circle will be huge, but then it's not. I don't know the answer.
Well, so we think about this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I can we think about this all the time. It's like, because obviously on the MYRIAD side, there's been no token yet, right? But not because of this, more because we've talked about this openly. We released a whole letter about why there hasn't been a token yet. It's because we're not in the position to drop it yet, because one of the things to do it properly, and highly advise you guys reading Loxley, our CEO's latest article on this. The point being, we think about that a lot, right? Like a lot of people would advise me, Farouk, like actually a lot of people have advised us straight up, do not launch a token, because what if one day you want to get acquired? But I'm like, but what happens to people who have been supporting us along the way, right? Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of founders. So it's I guess it's not fiduciary because token doesn't mean equity. So, but it's kind of your duty, somewhat fiduciary duty, I would like to say, to take care of your holders, to take care about your ecosystem, to take care of the people that are even farming your product, people that are using your product, take care of the people that are promoting your product, right? And you can see Cook and I think it was a few other people yesterday tagged me, but they were talking about how, there's no upside for the trenches. Oh, actually, you even talked about this with 9059, etc. There's no upside to the trenches for Polymarket or Kalshi because the people who are going to have the upside of Polymarket or Kalshi are really the investors, right? And the founders and the early team. And so we think about this a lot from that sense. Like, well, so what happens? Because a lot of people don't want to launch tokens because if you launch a token, unfortunately, the truth is, let's say you launch a token and it goes to shit. Your valuation will be stamped to that token. So let's say MYRIAD launches a token tomorrow, right? Yeah. Let's say, God forbid, goes to fucking 10 million. Even if I go and try to raise a round, let's say 100 million, 200 million, whatever, the perceived value of the company is going to be the token's price, which is false, right? The token doesn't equal equity, which that may be solved for soon. So a lot of teams wait for that. And a lot of teams sell and then rug the token. The reason why they rug the token is because a lot of the times, and I think Dudas kind of went to war yesterday on Timeline about that, it's the founders don't fight for the people that have been supporting them for the longest time because they get the exit. They're cool. They got their money. You're done, right? And it's a much better excuse than the mental health excuse. And then sometimes it's the companies. I'm not pointing fingers at Circle, Coinbase, etc. I don't know the deal. I don't have the paperwork. Yeah. But Dudas said that one of his portcos went through that were Circle, but that doesn't mean I'm not, So a lot of the companies that buy you say, hey, like, we don't want your token. Maybe they have better ideas, bigger ideas. Maybe they're NASDAQ listed companies. Maybe they're this and that. So it's like, it's very interesting. It's a weird, and the thing is, I'd like to put it on the fact that we're a little too early in that sense. So like, do you have M&A happening right now for crypto companies that have been built for the last 3, 4, 5 years that have had tokens? And now we're just seeing them get acquired because they're mature enough to get acquired, right? So we're in this weird position here. We have been doing a lot of research behind the scenes, like with legal and stuff, and like how do you do the token equity thing, which is when you told me Mike and Rainbow may have figured out, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's get them on the show, right? And they're coming on, I think, tomorrow. Polymarket, I don't think it was Poly, but I think one conf that invested in Polymarket kind of alluded to something as well. I'm curious to see how Polymarket does their token, right? I think they may do something that's going to be, my call was always Polymarket's going to do a token that's also like listed in equity, right? I would love to see that. We saw Tether that may do tokenized equity because they didn't want people to sell their shares at a lower valuation to not fuck up their $500 billion raise. So we're almost there. And so like the way Ovi managed to give equity through NFTs, I think we're going to get to the point soon in 2026. That's going to be the biggest unlock for crypto, where token can almost be part of equity. And therefore what Cook is talking about, what Stats talking about, what you're talking about, can be solved for, right? It's just a question of being early, not a question of people not wanting to do it. But then also, it would be nice if the founders, CEOs kind of like push for that, right? Like let's not rug people just because you want to get your exit, right?
Yeah, and there's going to be a lot to unpack from it as well. I think it's going to be like one of the biggest unlocks right? And it's going to be the transition point from vaporware tokens to like real tokens. But on the same side, that might dampen some valuations, right? Like there's vaporware can be pumped easier sometimes, right? Than like true value of protocol. So there's going to be some unforeseen consequences of this as well, probably, but it's absolutely the right step to go. And I was like, part of the reason we haven't had it is just like the regulatory environment, right? Like it's been impossible. It's been illegal. And now like there actually seems to be paths for this actually to happen. We're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Maybe in later 2026. It's hard to put.
It's coming. I mean, if Mike figured it out,
yeah,
we'll see how but see again, like that's why when people tell me, oh, Trump was bad for crypto, this and that, the price of crypto, like sure, we hit an all-time high under Biden. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Like the SEC is pro crypto and helping us do this. We know for a fact that there's I think it's either in the SEC or the CFTC, so don't quote me on that. One of the two is trying to find a way, I think it's CFTC, to help. It was in their pilot project to launch tokens under like regulated tokens to see how that could work. Like there's an actual pilot program going on right now. So I'm like, I'm in a way, I'm like, I'm delighted. And if you're listening to this, if you've been waiting for MYRIAD for a long time, you should be super happy that there's no token yet, because maybe it'll be figured out and maybe it's a way for us to be able to do that. So I'm hyped to see. I know for a fact there's some teams that are working on trying to get that through and trying to launch somewhat like legal token or legally regulated tokens that equate to equity. So I think we're close, dude. It's going to be a big unlock. I'm excited for that. But yeah, back to your example is, I guess maybe Coinbase and Circle don't want to take on somebody else's, baggage.
So we'll see. It's going to be one of the biggest stories of 2026, probably the biggest new trend. And you mentioned Trump, so maybe we should just go there. So Decrypt posted what might be a controversial article.
Is it?
To some, not controversial to me. And I wrote my own thoughts on it this morning in the newsletter, so go check that out if you're interested. But Decrypt named Trump as Crypto Person of the Year for 2025. And it's a long, well thought out article. It's 15-minute read. I do encourage folks to read it. Sanders great. And I think he did a good job of trying to paint the picture of both sides. So he highlighted some positives. He also gave air to folks who were critics. So I found it to be a very balanced piece. And I mean, the reality is like Trump's impact is mixed, right? Like, so I think I think it's hard to argue he's not the most impactful person in crypto in 2025. Who else are you going to point to as more impactful? So I think that conversation's been had. Like maybe you could. I'm not even really sure who you would argue, to be honest. But then the next phase of the discussion is, okay, so was that impact net positive or net negative? And I do think that's a longer discussion / debate. And where I've landed personally is I still do think it's a net positive because of all the doors that have been opened in the US, and you can actually now build in crypto and feel confident that you're going to be allowed to keep doing that. The banks aren't going to shut you out, and you actually have a path forward. And I think that is substantial enough to outweigh some of the negatives. And I think that the meme coin launch was a negative. Right. And I think there's been some, it's like some of this is speculation, but some of like the pay for play with the pardons, like there's been some messiness as well. And I know there's also the cohort that feels like the institutionalization of crypto is a net negative. I think that's somewhat of a tangent discussion to this. But I'm curious for others' thoughts. I mean, there's no right answer, and everyone's going to have their own view on this, but I'm curious for your view, as if you this. And you interviewed him. You kind of kicked this whole thing off.
Yes, true. Wait. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's controversial at all. And I actually think shout out to Sander, because what I love about Decrypt, because we have absolutely no hand. I know we own Decrypt, right? The same umbrella company, but we actually have no hand on this. I actually found out when the article came out. They were like, "Oh, can you share this?" I'm like, "Of course I can share this." What? But I think and also what I like about Sander, I'll start there. So he's our White House correspondent. So as you saw yesterday, I'm sure we'll go there, but he was there asking President Trump a question in the Oval Office. He always manages to keep it real, right? Like he puts the good and he puts what he thinks is the bad. And there was even a quote in there that I just shared on screen that was not great, right? The whole pay to play thing you just mentioned. And it even says the title, the subtitle is, "This year, the president vaulted the crypto industry to unprecedented heights, but how those perks come at the cost of Bitcoin's founding principles, which is something I had kind of asked CZ also in the interview, right? About from fundamentally the Bitcoin change. I think it's not controversial. I think he definitely deserves that topic for the same reason I just also went there, right? Like that whole segue was thanks to his adamant position on crypto, whether someone may see it as good or bad, it has opened a lot of doors. So for me, founder hat on, I'll always think it was a positive because it has allowed me to do so much more, right? I mean, we own a prediction market, right? Prediction market under Biden, those were completely illegal, right? Completely. And the CFTC was highly against it. So for builders, long term is like you have someone with a take here saying net positive for builders long term, net negative for investors short term. Maybe it's that at the moment. I don't know. I mean, the markets that are goodish. They're not terrible yet, but I think it's a good take. I think it's a great article. And for me, I always see net positive. But again, like you said, I come from a place that's someone that's interviewed. We got that house access. We got this, and like I'll always support it. Like I think they've opened a lot of doors for our industry.
And I don't think we'll have an answer for several years.
We have to wait.
Like we'll be able to look back on this. I mean, even 2028 might be too soon.
When price is up, everybody loves Trump, and then when price is down, everybody wished Kamala was in. And when I tweeted that last time when price was down, I was like, we're bottoming because people are tweeting about Kamala Harris being president again, and people were saying, yeah, but you don't understand, like it's affected the industry in this way for the future, blah blah. Okay, cool, then buy Zcash. I don't know, like if you really think that privacy is untouchable and this is that, like I don't know, Mando, what do you think? Well, let's put you right in the fire. You landed in right in the fire.
The number one trader on CT.
First and foremost.
With the number 3 trader on CT.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Then we have 2 top 75 KOLs in crypto as well.
We're starting to rack up those awards, lads. We're starting to rack it up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome him, the man, the myth, the legend, the number 1 trader on CT, REKT Mando! I think I also have an applause button somewhere. I just don't know where it is anymore. There it is.
Thank you. Thank you.
GG's in the chat.
Max Short Doge. It paid off.
Dude, what a trade, man. So that one trade really just...
Yeah, I was on like... I finished on 1.2. So it wasn't like I was complete... That wasn't the whole of my P&L, but that was 500K of it. I was also max short. Yeah, that was kind of the difference, in the end. But yeah, that was a fun evening. I actually was out yesterday. I was texting Farouk being like, I couldn't even cover my risk when I was out. So when I started going ahead, but
that's crazy. That's
it's cool to win. It's cool to win one of these things. That's the second trading competition I've ever done.
No, it's a nice little $200,000 for Mando,
Yeah.
So so where are you taking me to dinner? Like, let's talk about that. There's a specific wine that I told Tyler yesterday. I said, next time we go out to dinner, I'm not even fighting for the bill. I'm not taking my credit card out. I would love a Barcavela 2015 from Douro Valley. It's like the greatest Portuguese wine, apparently. So that would be nice.
I'll take you out for dinner. I'll take you along south for dinner to celebrate.
Let's go. I'm so hyped about this. Anyways, congrats on that. That's super fun. You actually cooked them. You didn't beat them. You destroyed them at the end. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, it really wasn't close yesterday. Like,
No, I knew that towards the end. I was like, I just started took down all my positions basically and was like, look, I can only really fuck this up now. And you could tell as well, because it was so tight below me between everyone else that like, as soon as somebody went slightly ahead, they were like reducing their positions.
Yeah.
You could see it happening. Like that Simon Templar guy went up ahead for a while and then I was like reducing his positions at the end. And so was November. And it was like,
wow.
You could tell that no one was going to go for it as well. So I was like, okay, well, there's no point in me.
There's not a lot of big crypto, like, Hearterium 13, 15.
Quit did okay.
Quit the 23. There's not a lot of big crypto folks in the. This one's none of them.
Well, this prize structure too, like you just kind of went there, but like if you had fifth locked up, you weren't super incentivized to try to risk it all to go to first.
No, I agree. 50K is nice.
Yeah, this was a much different sort of trading competition, in my opinion, than the first one, which was just like a winner takes all, basically.
Totally.
But yeah, not a lot of crypto KOLs in the top ones there.
Then not last time either. I mean, the last time it was only
a lot of people liking ICOs at the moment. Not a lot of people winning trading competitions. That's the state of crypto Twitter, I think.
You're too funny, dude. Question for you. The heat of the moment. Tyler and I were discussing something. Donald Trump was named Crypto Person of the Year by Decrypt in a pretty good expose that shows the good side, the other side, a little bit of it. It's a pretty fair article. Tyler and I tend to agree on that pick. What do you make of it?
It's tough to argue that anyone else has had a bigger impact on crypto than Trump. I think I give it to him. I give it to him. He definitely, it's not been perfect, but he's had a massive impact on the crypto market. I don't even know who else it would be. Maybe Hyperliquid.
Maybe that may win because we do. So the crypto does like Crypto Project of the Year, Crypto Person of the Year, crypto. They do all these things.
Right. Okay, that would make sense.
Yeah, maybe they'll win project. I don't even know.
Yeah, I think Jeff has got a shout at having a big impact. It feels like.
No.
After that, not a lot. I would say. It's been a strange year, right? I guess Tom Lee maybe he'd be up there. You could say had a big impact.
If you're coming up with the top 5 list, he's got to be on it.
Yeah, he's top 5 for sure. What's our top 5? So Trump would be first. We got Tom.
This is good. Yeah.
CZ. Oh, it depends on if you think CZ was involved in 1010.
Well, I don't think it was involved in 1010.
Probably
personally.
I would say Shane Copeland.
Yeah.
I would
he won. So just so you guys know, he won Founder of the Year last year. So the Crypt named him. But I agree this year again. I mean, prediction markets are back to back, right? But that's Crypto Person, right? Let's think about it from not a founder or a project lens.
That's Crypto Person. I don't really know if the KOLs have.
There's no KOL
on the list.
Have given themselves a good name this year. I'm trying to think if anyone did like some disgusting trade or something like that, which was like did really well.
What do we think?
Larry Fink or one of the TradFi guys?
God, Larry Fink wins Crypto Person of the Year. It's over, guys. Pack it up.
So wait, Trump. We can't even think of 5 boys. Okay, let's put Tom Lee in there. So 3 more. So like, got Trump and Tom.
Tom Lee was like a trade, right? Like I think the turnaround ETH at that time when it was looking like it was dead.
Do you think CC going to jail, doing 4 months, coming out of jail, coming back makes him a Crypto Person of the Year or not?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say this Mert has had a massive year as well, just in terms of profile.
I'm curious what the shortlist was. I'm gonna ask.
Zcash trade was a big one. Nick O'Neill, yeah. honestly, did go a bit mainstream.
Well, there's like different tiers here. Like, we're talking about like Crypto KOL of the Year, or like the person who had the biggest impact on crypto in 2025. I think it's
well, that's always got to be Trump, but you could say that for like every bit of the world almost. You know what I mean? It's like who's had the biggest impact? Well, probably the president of the United States.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say Jeff. Here's my 5. Okay, Jeff, Shane Copeland, CZ, Mert, and Trump. Oh, and Tom Lee.
So I asked the editor-in-chief if he doesn't mind sharing with me who their shortlist was. I'm just so curious now how, like, who was like their, like, where did they pick from, right? Very curious about that. Very interesting in that sense. Okay, so there's that. Not Barron Trump, no. Melania, no.
Barron. Where is he
Alan,
these days?
Alan, honorable mention with the impact that Pump Fun has had. Does he get honorable mention on this?
That I think, yeah. I think you have to.
I don't really know. It's not really been the year of pump fun, is it?
Oh, was it the year before?
I feel like last year was the year of pump fun. This year was the year of win airdrop for Alan. Definitely last year, I would have put him up there. Like it was a breakout year for pump fun.
Okay, yeah, so not this year then. I don't know. I guess.
What coins are up year to date? Can we bring that up? I'd love to see this.
Let's talk about this, and then I see Adam from Football.Fun is too. We'll bring you up in a minute here, but let me see. Year to date coin market cap.
You can't do year to. Oh, you
Pivot.
can.
Let's go. 5,000. Fucking crime all over. You can't do year to date. Oh, Zcash is actually there. 600%.
Gold. Oh God, gold is in the 6 and 7 spot.
Jesus Christ.
Not great.
OKB.
I think about any of these trades, if like people have been Zcash, that's why I kind of chose Merc because it's probably been the trade. This is a disastrous list. Are you fucking kidding me? Tron at 10% is.
Bro, the top 10 is a token that's being crimed right now. Probably another crime here. So the real one is ZEC. OKB is up because they did a bunch of really cool stuff like burning a ton of supply, blah, blah. Monero and Zcash, same narrative. Gold, Merlin Chain, BNB, okay, fair. Bitcoin Cash. Dash is another privacy coin. Hyperliquid, okay. Whatever this fucking Leo thing is. And then it's Tether, USDE, USDD for USD.
Bro.
So stable coins.
Wow. Hyperliquid's only at 13% year to date. That is shocking.
Oh my God. Oh.
We'll have to continue because there's a lot to unpack from this. I'll wrap it up in a minute.
Well, let's talk about this in the end of year show. I know we're gonna do a few more shows towards the end of year. We'll do our end of year shit in a week or so. Anything else, Ty, before I go on to Adam?
We'll cover tomorrow. I think the jobs report was a little bit mixed, so we can get into that tomorrow. Bitcoin double bottom last night. Santa Rally's on, so we can check back in on that one tomorrow.
Is the Santa Rally back on?
Hello? Is that it? Is it over?
We do have the best trader on CT in the house. What do you think of Farcoin?
Oh, I'm not looking at Farcoin right now. I think ETH is not looking so great to me here now.
Okay. Well, I was looking at Farcoin. I bought some Farcoin because I thought Farcoin would do good, in this economy.
I don't like shorting the market right now because 87, but like, don't convince yourself that now it's long either. We had the move. We did break through the 88K level, so I think kind of anything above 88K becomes an okay short now because that was the previous level of support and we're now below it. So like, if you go to 88K again, I'd probably look to put on another short, which is actually not that bad. But the trade's not. It's not. 94 versus or 93 versus 80. Now it's 89 versus 80. So risk was still with you if that happens, in my opinion.
Wow. Last week he came on, he said short 92K and we went to 0. And this week he's on and says short 88K. So there you go. Grange rally. With that being said, let's bring Adam on. Football.Fun. There's not much going on in the space, really. But so it's good to have something going on. It says, Adam, you've been on the show before. How you doing? Different haircut this time. Got a little swag going on.
Yeah, I've gone full Viking this time. How are you guys doing? I see you're all in optimistic mood. Closing out the year. Every founder's dream is to be introduced when you're doing an ICO and people are comparing whether stable coins are in fact the best play. Maybe I should have launched it as a stable coin for a best chance of success, right?
Oh my God, that's so funny. Listen, it's not good, but we have said some good things about you yesterday and the day before on the show. So you know what? That's how we ended up here. And for one of the last ICOs of the year, speaking of end of the year, stuff like that. I'll let Tyler lead this one, but quickly, Adam, obviously you've been on the show before, but quickly maybe refresh people's memories on, who you are, what you do. That way we can recap here.
Yeah. I'm the founder of Football.Fun. I think most people met us about 3 months ago in August when we kind of had a breakout month at that time. But we've actually been building for 14 months. We just kept it quiet until then, until we actually had a product. and it was actually worth telling anyone about. Since August, which is 13 weeks ago, I don't remember what I did previous to that because it seemed to have lasted such a long time, but we've actually done 95 million volume on our marketplace, over $10 million in revenue. And today we're doing our ICO on Legion and Kraken. TG is going to be in January. And then the plan is basically to expand both in terms of like new sports, new audiences. And I don't like to say go mainstream because it's, 6 billion people is not a target you can really hit. But, let's go for the first 100,000 people who love playing DraftKings and sports betting and like try and get them in as well as the crypto native guys.
So where does the ICO fit in with that vision?
So we give a lot of thought to this. It comes down to like the sort of business you want to run, right? Ultimately, like, you can do the typical thing where you try and sell to like, you do 5 years as a founder, then you try and sell the business to someone. DraftKings in our case would be an obvious one. But we don't really want to do that. I've been acquired before as a founder, didn't necessarily enjoy working for the acquiring company. And I think, we actually have a business that would actually be difficult to sell. Like the core of the business is actually a decentralized player market was actually owned by the users. I couldn't really sell that because I don't own it. So I don't imagine anyone would acquire that anyway, and we don't want to do it. So the purpose of Fun, when you think of like the buyback meta, and in some cases this is dumb, like I agree. But when you have a company that actually has revenue and people enjoy and like actually use the product, that to me seems like the most obvious way to align your users, right? Company makes money, it goes back to the token. I see some teams doing it and I'm like, that doesn't work because you're just kind of jumping on the thing. But for us, because we actually do have revenue, I think it works.
And so this was shared. Well, I was reading about this. I don't know if it was in your Q&A, one of the other docs. So fixed supply network token fund. It's going to link platform revenues, fee rebates, long-term eco. You're going to do programmable share of revenue funds for ongoing buybacks. So we would love to hear a little more about that.
Yeah, I guess like really TLDR way of explaining it is it's a little bit like a BNB coin on the platform in that you get benefits, rebates, fee discounts, various perks. So you want to hold it. If you care about Football.Fun and you play regularly, it just has benefits. The kind of incidental thing is that we also just use our revenue to buy it back. So we're using 40% of our funds to buy back the token off the market. So that's from every sports market we spin up. We use that. So that's just like a really solid value accrual to token. Basically, our equity is worthless. Like we've made that decision. The idea is, the idea is like it's full value accrual to token.
All right.
I think you've just got to make that choice, else it's just too complex. Is my take. And then thirdly, there's some really exciting like utilities for the token, which I kind of talk about as like the pump.fun of sports. Like when we launch new player athletes on the marketplace, like the next big drafted NFL player or the next big soccer star, if you make your prediction on like who you think they're going to be, like if you participate in like the draft game in NFL and you're right, then you get the sort of sniper entry price on that new athlete. So if you predict like this college footballer is going to be the next quarterback for whoever, you get the entry price. So it's a little bit like getting the first price on a token. And I think that's going to be like a really exciting game mode for a lot of people, particularly the crypto natives. And you need the fun token to do that as well.
Got it. So
Interesting.
that also kind of inform your decision on not going the VC route. So I think you wrote about that a bit as well. Like you could raise this capital from VC.
Yeah, that was
easier for you.
Actually harder. I think doing an ICO, and I think you don't really appreciate it until you go through all of this, but like the forms and like the legal processes and doing it is incredibly difficult. It's actually comparatively easier to get one VC to go, yeah, here's $3 million.
Yeah, definitely.
But I do think it will be worth it because I do believe in that distribution effect. And I think like the original purpose of ICOs, right, was to, give early supporters good entry price. Everyone wins together. It kind of got corrupted along the way, and we sort of stopped doing that. And then because ICOs became illegal, we all turned to meme coins to like do something. And I think the kind of legislative landscape is now there to do like real ICOs again. So that's what we're trying to do, and that's why we've done a 60 mil val, which seems to have been widely considered to be quite a fair entry price, rather than doing a billion for ego and then just never being able to satisfy anyone.
That would have been terrible.
Yeah. So that's kind of our plan, is like use that playbook and let people get a good entry price and see like room to grow, and then take people on that journey with us. So yeah, kind of old school ICO approach, really.
What was choosing the FTV a difficult decision, or maybe part two? Like, what was the most difficult decision kind of going through this?
I guess in terms of like, you've really got to keep reading the room of crypto Twitter all the time, and that can change like quite rapidly. So
Yes.
a month ago, you might have done 100 mil because people were doing MYRIAD and MYRIAD, and it would have looked cheap. But then, the market is just different. So we have to keep evaluating that. It's also different, like when you speak to VCs and when you think of doing an ICO as well. So after August, we spoke to most of the top tier 1 VCs, spent a lot of time talking to them, and ultimately just it never really made sense for us, because we already had decent backers. We had 6MV. We've just announced Coinbase Ventures backing as well, because we're the #1 consumer app on Base now.
Wow.
So we have like good backers. Like if what you want is validation and someone big to say, hey, these guys are not idiots, then we kind of have those guys. And then capital is just kind of a commodity. You can get that from various places. And then the third thing is actually like what giving those tokens to people actually does for the business and the community. And I would rather see them in the hands of like, people who have been vetted through Kraken, through Legion, are our player base for the most part, or they're like proven holders, and go out that way, because then you get super fans. And if you do give them a good price, and I remember this from like Top Shot days, or So Rare days, or any other product, if they make a lot of money and they see success through your project, some of them make their whole personality about your thing. Like some guys like made their whole personality around Top Shot because you gave them a win. So that's the kind of mentality, is like establish that hardcore, because they will be like your biggest fans as you try and push for the next year.
And you all are doing an airdrop as part of this as well. 4% Genesis
That too.
airdrop. Do you want to maybe elaborate on that, kind of what went into that decision, what the community can expect?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've always been pretty consistent in my approach to this, and that's basically been give a more significant amount to your power users and don't give dust to 20,000 people, because it just doesn't really do anything for those people. We've obviously been on a journey, like it's not all been great for Football.Fun. It's been a hard up and down journey, like anything in crypto. Like if it goes up, it comes down, because as soon as anyone makes money, if you give someone the opportunity to cash out 50K, they're cashing out 50K, because that is the kind of mentality of the cycle. There's nothing wrong with that, but it obviously means that our player markets like rocketed up and then they came down, and now they're grinding back up again. And there's a bunch of people in there who are probably our like biggest fans, who are sitting there kind of like, well, I wish I'd cashed out 50K, but I kind of didn't. And I stuck in and I watched my bag go up from here to there and then back up a bit. So my ambition for it really is I want that guy to get their airdrop and be like, hey, you know what? I was actually right. I feel good about my decision. Because then that creates a culture where that core community know that they will eventually get looked after. And that's what we want to do with that airdrop. And it's not a one-off for us. So I think there's limited utility in like a one-off airdrop. It happens, it's gone. Why not do it every month? Why not make it into a thing where if people are playing the game and they are continually playing the game and they've got good stats and they're good at the game, why doesn't that just be a monthly thing, like kind of like any kind of sports book will have that kind of retention program for its power users. So that's our plan for that as well.
Love to hear it. We've gone deep into kind of like the operations of this ICO. Now I kind of want to step back and talk more about the product. And you kind of went there at the beginning, but like how I want to kind of answer the questions like, so why should anyone who's interested participate in the ICO? So like, how is the product doing? How has it been trending over the past few months?
Yeah, so we kind of alluded to it, but August was just crazy. Like, I think we were probably the most talked about thing for like 10 days on crypto, and loads of people piled up in. Yeah. And then it went down. I don't think that was, obviously there's tons of stuff we could have done better, and always is, but I think to an extent that's part of the game that is played out in crypto. People take profits. It's not necessarily a bad thing. We just had to keep shipping. So every single week our community see new updates to the game. We make it better and better. Really around the theme of just making it easier to play, better onboarding, more obviously rewarding. I see people like opening $300 packs in our game and just kind of brushing it aside. So there's something wrong with like how we present information, which is really interesting. Because if people win a $300 bet, they're like, fuck yeah. And now they're just like scrolling through our app going, $300, $200. So there's something wrong like psychologically. So all these things we're trying to work on and make better. So yeah, it's really just that kind of hard yards of like really just improving the product, and then thinking about strategically like which sports we launch next and which markets we go to. So NBA is obviously a heavily requested next sport. We've already launched NFL. That's new since I spoke to you guys last as well. Yep. Like we literally just launched NFL. NBA is popular next, but I've also been speaking to other people. Like I was on a Korean podcast the other day. Their thing is League of Legends. Like, why not? Like, absolutely insanely popular sport in that part of the world. You look at places like India, cricket is the thing. The actual spend is massive. So yeah, roll out these markets to different places. Keep growing our volume and our revenue. And that ultimately comes back to the fun token. So if that's what you're interested in, and you're interested in kind of the journey of the company, that's that. But if you're a player, and particularly if you want to get involved in this kind of like drafts and early scouting of players, you're going to need the fun token. So it has in-game utility as well as being that like BNB token that gets you like general perks on the platform.
So you're going through this expansion now, different sports. Do you view the football product as the core product of the platform, or do you view it more as they're all going to be equals, or the market's going to decide? Like, how are you thinking about that?
I think it's the market that will decide ultimately. I think football is the biggest now. I think NFL obviously came through like halfway through the NFL season. We are actually doing like off-season rewards and game modes around the draft, so there's going to be stuff to do. But yeah, I think NFL will probably have its biggest season next season, like 100%. I think there'll be kind of convergence around Football.Fun for the World Cup. It was a strategic move really in doing NFL early. The US is actually now our biggest audience by territory. Like most people, more of our players log in from the USA than any other, which is predominantly because of NFL. There's obviously a US hosted soccer World Cup. So we will encourage that audience to come across. They will get interested, and they'll probably mostly go back to NFL. Fine. But yeah, so that road does kind of lead to like Football.Fun being popular in that summer period. But yeah, ultimately, like our job is to be a marketplace. We want to be like the Binance of sports, where, ultimately you can trade any sport within reason, like it has to have a certain level of popularity. And we just become the infrastructure, the venue for trading those players, but also the provider of the entertainment experience and the game as well. And then the market just kind of takes care of itself. Like that becomes something which is player owned, because we don't own the money in it. Actually, the liquidity is in a central smart contract that we don't control.
Okay. Were there any surprises from the NFL launch versus the prior football launch? or takeaways that'll inform the next one?
We certainly got like every time you launch a new sport, like we had like liquidity splitting between them. So like a lot of football fans like would cash out of Football.Fun because they're like, new shiny thing. And they go chase that. And then they're like, we're selling that. And then we're going back to Football.Fun, which is very like common crypto behavior. It's not great if you're the fan though. Like if you're the NFL player and everyone's leaving your game and you feel like you're winning, but you're winning the sport, but you're losing the macro because someone else is cashing out on your shit. Like that's not great. So like there's liquidity challenges there, and also like market teething problems, which I think any prediction market has, of like providing that liquidity depth. Certainly like the best thing about this project is that it's an open market, and the worst and hardest thing is that it's an open market. Like they're incredibly challenging things to try and be a custodian of. But ultimately, that's kind of why our game is cool. So you know, we've just got to keep working on that and making it better for the players. Well,
clearly you've had a major splash on crypto Twitters in this sector. So congrats on the success. ICO, let's talk specifics. What do folks need to know if they're listening and they want to participate on Legion, on Kraken?
Yeah, you can do either. I think it's slightly easier as a US citizen on Kraken.
Yeah.
So interestingly, it's actually Kraken's first ever launch that has allowed US citizens. Yeah. That's what they told me. So like follows like the Coinbase example.
Yeah, it's true.
So now US citizens can participate as well. So yeah, we've only just opened a couple of hours ago. I think we're targeting 3 mil. I think we're approaching 1 in the first few hours, which is pretty good going. And it's all been from like the allocation sizes aren't that big. So that is actually from like quite a number of small wallets as well. We're yet to see a fund YOLO in $1 million. So that is, pretty much all just like organic small wallets, which is pretty cool.
Well, awesome. I appreciate you coming on such a busy day to help talk with us. And
hell yeah.
Pleasure.
So this is an exciting one. Wish you guys the best.
All right. Cheers, guys. Appreciate your time.
Have a good one.
Take it easy. Bye.
All right. Let's give some money. That was good. I'm excited. I like it. They're raising very little, eh? It's funny. I said this like before we even had him on. Like it was like 2 days ago or some shit.
Yeah, encourage folks to go read Adam's thoughts. He shared them. Like he talks about how he could have gone route, why he chose to go this route. I mean, he explained it to us as well. And like they're not raising at $1 billion. They're not trying to raise $50 million. They needed $3 million. They could have, and they're choosing to go this route to raise it, to get more, to let folks have more skin in the game. And now the folks, they want that. Yeah.
I'm interested in this one. I don't know on the ICO side as much as the trading aspect after, but because ICO you still got to get, it's a 50% unlock, 50% 1 year, right? So I'd say you're trying to make money. Nice to be talking just from a trading perspective. Product. You'd have to want the first 50% to be a 2x so that you can make your money back, right? And then you'd need a 3-4x to really cook. And then obviously they probably want people that are long term. So I'm talking from trading perspective. That's probably not the type of people they want. ICO. They want someone that's like people that are like invested long term. So
it's gonna be lower float. I mean, it's gonna be like roughly 20% float day one.
There may be a trade here. There may be. Do you know where the ICO, like when the token launch is, the TG? Fuck, we didn't ask that. I'm curious.
I don't know. The TGE date has been.
I don't think it's been announced.
I'm on the token page. I would imagine it would be fairly rapidly after the ICO completes.
Right.
Is running through the 18th. So yeah, we'll follow up and we'll get.
I just want to trade something during the holidays, dude.
Well, that's the thing. Like we've seen this, even in like 2021, there was the bear market turn, like November, December, but then things really heated up around Christmas, and then we actually got that kind of a boom.
You remember SOS
on Christmas Day, right? Or Christmas Eve?
In hell, bro. ENS followed by SOS. I was at the Christmas table with my laptop.
People are home, like they're of course people are doing stuff and they're traveling, but there's also like a cohort who's like They got nothing to do. They're off work for 2 weeks.
I'll be home. My family's coming over. I'm gonna be online 24/7 in the holidays, dude. I don't want it any other way either. Like, I want to be on. I want to be on my computer. I want to do fucking calls. We're not even gonna do the show for a few days. Like I want to be like watching movies and trying to make. I'll be gambling on YEET 100 million%, and I'll be fucking trying to trade something. You know what I mean?
I mean, you can make. You know, he was kind of joking about like the timing and like we're talking like bear market vibes and like lower valuation. But I think all those can end up being net positives, right?
At a low valuation enough, yeah. And I think 60 is fair. But we'll see. Look, I think it's, I mean, for the biggest consumer crypto up on base at the moment, it's definitely not bad. So, and we'll see. Personal opinion here. I'll be trading it for fun. I'll just move some money to base so I can be quick. Anyways, so Yenfo won yesterday, the YEET giveaway. So we pick one more winner right now, Charlie, and we can do one Omaha, one lamb chop, or two Omahas. I don't care. We can figure it out, but let's give some money away.
Let's do it. All right. Definitely recognize that name.
Yeah, same. He said January, apparently. Okay. I'm seeing this here. Did he say January? I don't think I've caught that. Okay. JPEG Savage, is that him? NFT Savage? Is that what it is? Charlie? Is that him? Or I didn't see the name. I think it is. Okay, so it's him. Oh shit, my phone's dying. God damn it. Okay, let's do this.
Right,
Oh, I didn't charge it. Yenfo first. What do we do for Yenfo?
Omaha.
Yeah. Let's do Omaha for Yenfo, and we can do some lamb chop for the other one. Or
All right.
both. All right, so why is there no sound? Oh, why is there no sound? Should be sound. Let me refresh. All right, Yenfo, we're gonna play some Omaha for you. So congrats. First of all, you made $500. Or maybe it's the sound later. What should we do? So what? 200 here, and then 25, 25, or 50 on flush or better. What are we gonna do?
Let's do the 25-25.
Okay. So that's the first run. He gets 2 runs. Let's go.
Flush.
Oh no. That's gonna be Queen High flush.
So
We didn't get
all right, we have some options here. Let's get an ace. Oh, wrong suit.
that's 0. Oh well.
Oh no.
Still gets another run. Still gets another run. Should we try again? Same thing?
Yeah, let's do the same.
Yenfo, don't worry. Don't worry. You get another run. We're gonna win this one. We got it. Oh, that's good. He's got high card. No, it's a pair of threes. Okay, yeah, pair of threes, but he's a high card king. Okay, cool.
Please.
Boom, we won already.
We won.
So wait, we can win with something. Oh, he hit the 1 card. 7.5x.
Yeah. Nice.
Holy shit. Let's get a flush or better. We win everything. Watch this. Another.
Royal.
No. Nice. Let's go. Come on, dude. What a comeback. What a comeback. So he wins 1,079. Fuck yeah, dude.
Just for
Hell
logging
yeah.
to a show packed with alpha and interviews.
You're making money. All right, let's move over to lamb chop. All right, NFT Savage, I see you in the stew in the audience. You're already up $500. Congratulations. You get 2 runs of lamb chop. What do you want? Difficulty. You get 2 runs of 250 each. Congrats, Yenfo. That was fun. That one good call on the 1 card, Tyler. Good card of putting 25 on the 1 card. That was 7.5x. That was nice. That was sweet. All right. He's like, all right. Rolling up his sleeves. Easy to the tracks. Let's go. Come on, I feel it. It's Christmas. Oh my God. Oh my God.
First base on easy. Mando. Dial it back, my friend.
How come Wizard of Soho, did you see his stream yesterday?
The putting thing. I saw the putting.
He only wins, right? I swear to God, Wizard of Soho is a DE and I higher at YEET, and they give him higher RTP.
Real quick, while we wait for the odds to get better, my morning minute whale, Arsonic, hit like a 2000x
What the fuck?
on lamb chop. He was playing on hard mode and made a barn run. He was doing lower stakes, but it is possible.
Oh my God, man. Need higher RTP, Mando. Okay. So back to this.
All right.
Same thing, I'm assuming. Savage. He's like, what the fuck? The poor guy.
Let's just do
Yeah, Wiz has a horseshoe up his ass. I swear to God, dude.
All right, he said it again. Let's go. Let's run.
All right. Yes, yes. I feel it.
Come on. Oh, that was clean. That was clean. Woo! I get a little.
All right, you can cash it out and make $1,100, or you can keep going. But it's your last shot.
I'm definitely going at least another one
We
here.
talk shit about Wiz, so he's definitely gonna keep going.
Cash out, Savage. All right.
No! It is Christmas though, so I ain't gonna say shit. It is Christmas. It is a second
Take my
shot.
prediction. I actually think this one. I'm gonna say this is a barn run.
I was gonna say that, but I can't make the same prediction. So I'm gonna say I'll say this was the last one run here. One before the barn. All right, it's Cashma. Congratulations, you make 1152 here. Oh, we're both wrong. Holy shit.
Played it well.
Good cash. Good cash. Well, congratulations. So Yenfo made 1070 or something.
1,000, right? 1,000 plus, 1,100.
Yeah. And then Savage too. Everybody's been hitting on the show lately. They're not huge wins, but it's like 1,000 plus for everyone.
Yeah.
So we're giving a lot of money on the show. So anyways, reminder to use the code FOMO for big moments. Tyler, I will see you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, another episode of FOMO on Rogue Radio. Let's go.